my name is Adrienne Martian. I'm the founder of FAME Consulting. FAME stands for Financial Abundance Made Easy. So part of our core values is economy, sustainability, time, community, and we really want to focus on events and programs that will help our people succeed. So this is the final installment for this year of the GMB, which stands for Government Means Business series, but we'll be back next year with more great topics to talk about. That's a little bit about me. I'll turn it over to you, Jamaal, and then we'll introduce our presenter for today.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Jamaal Solomon, CEO, founder of JS Tax Corporation. Me and Adrienne basically do the same thing, and we both have the love of educating the community. I represent people in front of the IRS and any state tax department. I do workshops. I do obviously tax returns and consulting. But at the end of the day, the main reason why me and Adrienne decided to do this because we know how small businesses are the backbone of America and any organization. And so we want to see small businesses survive and thrive because we need y'all in our communities because y'all the ones that are most likely hire our kids, our uncles, our nieces, more than, you know, big corp. So that's what we're here for. And thank you for coming out. And as you already know, if you're already here, we're all about engagement. You cannot hide from me. I'm going to call you out. So we're going to have a nice, engaging conversation.
All right, awesome. So just a few housekeeping items. Again, you can see this is being recorded. It's also a safe space. So judgment-free zone. I know it's not Planet Fitness. Hopefully they're not going to, sue me for using their tagline, but judgment-free zone, right? So there's no silly questions. Feel free to put your questions in the chat. Engagement is key. We want this to be a free-flowing conversation. We want you to get information. We want to get your questions answered. We want this to be of value for you. So I'm so happy that you guys, responded to the icebreaker, spoke about your companies, but we're going to talk about a new aspect, access to training, and how that can be essential for you and what that can do for your business or for you personally. So we will now turn it over to Erica Hill. Erica, if you'd like to just share a little bit about yourself, and I will get your slides ready.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Erica Hill. I'm from Baldwin. My business is Vision Street Research, and my business focuses on working with Black-led firms on providing project management, market research, and data analysis, as well as workforce development training. And I'm really all about access. Like that's my personal mission. And you'll see why that's important once I start the presentation. But I'm all about providing access and opportunity to Black and Brown communities. So whether it be providing access for young people to get access to skills through internships or apprenticeships, as well as Black-owned small businesses in terms of being able to get access to personnel via interns or other aspects of resources. I used to work at the Nassau County Comptroller's Office, where I was the liaison for the Minority Women in Business Enterprise Committee. And I previously had done workshops with small businesses in Black and Brown communities. So I'm really just about providing access, because I believe the absence of access and opportunity is why a lot of our businesses, households, young people are not able to thrive.
Thank you, Erica. I mean, when I say that this is just all encompassing of what this series really means, thank you so much for being here with us today. So everyone should be able to see the presentation on their screens now. Erica, I will control the progression. So whenever you're ready for me to move forward, please just let me know.
Okay, so you can move to the next slide. Okay, so this is a little bit more about Vision Street. As you can see, my mission is a social mission. So I consider myself a social entrepreneur, and Vision Street Research a social enterprise, actually, because while I work a lot with small businesses, I also work quite a bit with community-based organizations, and I'm all about providing the connectivity. So there's a continuum in our community. So you can see what our commitment is. And really, at the end of the day, it's about closing the racial wealth gap, which begins with having our own businesses, right? Being able to have something that we own ourselves and can pass on to future generations is important to closing that racial wealth gap. Next slide. So access. So when I thought about preparing for this presentation, I thought about like, where does access really start? And really it starts with you in terms of identifying your personal and professional mission. So that's why I stated up front what mine is. I've always been passionate about working with Black and Brown communities, about mentoring young people and supporting and working with small businesses. So one of the things I recommend to everybody is to take a self-assessment. So one that I was made aware of by a colleague is called the 16 personalities. So 16personalities.com. And there are literally 16 different personality types. But what's very informative, whether you're running a business or you're working at someone else's business, is you're able to gain a lot of insight about yourself and what helps you to thrive. What types of personality types you may interact with as customers, as potential partners. So being able to do an inward reflection is helpful in kind of making note of that. The other in terms of access, so now you've figured out, okay, whatever your personal mission is, and since Jamaal said this is interactive, I'm gonna call on somebody. So I'm gonna call on Cheryl and ask you, what would you say is your personal or professional mission?
My personal mission. So if I had to think about my personal mission, it would be to help people to hone on in their expertise and focus on their expertise and use their expertise to monetize themselves, to get businesses. And I like to work with educators a lot, because educators, we work hard. We give, but we never use what our expertise is to help ourselves. So that's my personal mission, to help people. And my professional mission is just to become more of an expert at what I do. So when people come to me, I know exactly where I'm leading them. I don't want them to be unsure if they want to come to me or not.
Okay.
And know that I'm there to support them. Whether they come to me as like just to help them for a little while, or do they want to come on to my coaching services?
Gotcha. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So as you can see, Cheryl is very, clear about professional and personal mission, and that obviously lends itself to the types of customers and maybe outreach that she does with her business. The other access point that I feel like goes underutilized a lot of times, I think personally people use it, but professionally is tapping into your access points. So your family, your friends, it could be chosen family, blood family, however you want to define family, your friends, your school, your church. I know for Jamaal and for Adrienne, there's the Divine Nine on here. So there are several networks of access points. And you really, once you've identified kind of what your mission is and what you're looking for, it's a lot easier to reach out to those other access points to then ask them how they can help you get there. Whether it's, can you refer me business? Do you have an opportunity where I could participate as a guest speaker or be part of some sort of in-person event you're having? Things like that. I think it's important that you write down those names on a piece of paper, and then as the opportunities present itself, that you relay kind of how someone can help you. One of the things that I do with friends and family is when people call and say like, oh, Erica, can you help me? I literally send them the first page of the Passion Planner, which makes you do a 5-minute exercise. It says, what are your goals for the next 3 months, for 1 month, and from like a year from now? And I say, pick one thing that you think that I can help you with, and then send that to me ahead of time so I can prepare for the conversation. So that's a way to use your network and these access points in a way that is good use of everybody's time, but then you can walk away with something tangible that'll help you both in your business or any sort of personal pursuits. Next slide. Okay, so access. Access is also about skills and being able to identify what you believe you're really good at and what things do you feel like you still need. I talk a lot about this with young people that I have as interns, but I think even when I talk to colleagues, figuring out if they want to branch into a new career path or maybe expand something with their business, being able to identify what skills are necessary are extremely important. Next slide. Okay, so I use myself as an example, and then I'm gonna call on somebody momentarily. So like, what are you good at? So a core piece of Vision Street research is about using data to drive decisions. I believe data is important. So if it's your personal data, your client data, I believe you should look at your data first and then see what it's telling you, and then use that as a guide to driving decisions. It makes them more strategic and more rooted in something tangible. I'm really good at facilitating conversations. I've been trained in doing moderating focus groups and other community discussions. I like helping people find jobs, and I really enjoy working on multiple projects, which is why I like being people's project managers. Areas that I've helped people improve in, or I've improved in on my own. Time management is something that I think it's an ever evolving thing, depending on how many more things you have on your plate. Microsoft Excel is something that I share with folks. Bookkeeping is something that I would love to outsource. So I should have put that as my wish list. But I know it's something that I need to do so that I don't have Adrienne or like Jamaal coming and knock at my door telling me how I'm not prepared to do my taxes. So bookkeeping is necessary. And then working with technology and digital marketing. So Rebecca, what would you say are some skills that you have, and what are some things that you love to work on?
Well, one of the things I think I am good at is the use of technology, because even from a young age, my dad, he's been working with like software implementation and everything technologically based.
Mm-hmm.
So even at a young age, he taught me how to do things. So I think I'm good with technology now. I could always get better, but I have a good standpoint. I work with the disabled community. So having to speak up on somebody's behalf, I've learned how to become a better speaker because of my job.
Okay.
Areas of improvement, I can definitely still use time management, because at this point I'm working full-time and going to school, so time management could be better on both parts. So that's one of my biggest things, I think.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next slide. All right. So some of you may be familiar with this. Could be a refresher, or for some, it could be slightly new information. But one of the things that I try to offer through my business is helping young people hone in on their hard skills, but more so their soft skills, because the soft skills are the ones that are in higher demand. Most hard skills can't technically be taught, whereas soft skills, there's an expectation that folks have already acquired them. So some basic ones, like I got certified in workforce development right before the pandemic, because I knew that was a space that I wanted to expound upon. So that was my way of adding to some hard skills that I already had working with young people and training them. Soft skills, we kind of mentioned one of them. Rebecca was just talking about it, was about communication, and time management was another one that we all talked about. These are important to highlight, I would say, both as business owners, though, as well. I know before the call started, or what you've heard a lot of people talk about is about how do you maintain boundaries, right, between business and work, and having steady hours, and just having things in place that allow people to respect your boundaries, right? So sometimes, even with time management, that could be having set hours. I know a feature on my phone that I use is do not disturb. There are just certain hours that you just can't get through. So then it limits the ability, because you may be like, oh, but I really want to help that person. And you do, but if you keep not maintaining your own boundaries, then you don't have any. And that's not good. You don't want to become burned out, right? So you have to set some sort of boundaries that, they may feel uncomfortable at first, but I guarantee, like, once you set them up and become more used to them, you'll appreciate the fact that you had them. So whether it's doing some time blocking, if you want to, like Rebecca, you talked about your self-defense business. If you want to block out time to work on that, maybe there's certain days during the week or certain hours you can use for that. Or for anybody else on here that's looking to do something else or start a new business, exploring that. Or maybe you want to explore some additional leadership skills. All of those things are important to identify, like what other things you could need. And on the next slide, there'll be a link. We're going to go to a website, and I could show you more specifically how you could figure that out. But it's good just to do kind of your own assessment of some of the skills, the hard and soft skills that you currently have, or ones that you may want to improve on. and then you can seek out resources for getting that achieved. Okay, so these are some of the skills, I've looked online, talked to several people, employers and clients, skills that are in high demand in general. So if you're looking to, get a promotion, you're looking to offer some sort of through your consulting business, acquisition of some of these skills, like this would be something just to play up. You can see like project management, data analysis, digital marketing is a really big thing across multiple disciplines. And then for soft skills, I would say like problem solving. One of the things I remember someone telling me in a marketing class is you need to be able to solve your client's pain point. You're a problem solver then, right? Like, what is your pain point? And then how am I presenting you with some options to solve it? Interpersonal skills are very important. Most people who are small business owners, you're the first interaction most times. So customer service falls right in line with interpersonal skills. So you want to be able to have a good rapport with your clients or prospects. So hopefully that they'll refer other businesses to you and then speak favorably about you in different platforms, whether it be Facebook or on any sort of surveys that you may provide and things like that. I would also say adaptability is really important. I mean, if we all didn't learn that from the pandemic, you have to figure out a way to be adaptable. People that were used to doing things in person had to figure out how to use technology to make their services accessible, right, to online. Like nobody was meeting in person because of safety precautions. So I think COVID is a good example of adaptability, in whatever ways you were able to make pivots personally and professionally will definitely benefit you in the long run.